this other stuff I'm talking about. Just see me after the year. Don't White supremacy was what made slavery possible in the first place. White supremacy is a form of racism centered upon the belief and promotion of the belief that white people are superior in certain characteristic traits and attributes to people of other racial backgrounds, and that therefore whites should politically, economically, and socially rule non-whites. In the United States, the black codes were other laws that controlled slavery. The black codes were laws passed by southern states in 1865 and 1866 after the Civil War. These laws had the intent and the effect of restricting African Americans' freedom and of compelling them to work in a labor economy based upon wages or pay. And then, last but not least, came the Jim Crow laws. The Jim Crow laws, so-called after a black character in minstrel shows, was racial segregation laws enacted in the United States and in the state and local level 28 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1862 and lasted between 1890 and 1965. 1965. I remember the Jim Crow laws so vividly right now. Here in Borger, when we had to do stuff like go up into the balcony of the rig, and even though they had a couple of driving moves, we could only go for one driving move at a time. If you got hungry up town while you're up there, you want to go and get you hamburger and you're going back up. Even at the Rick Theater, we didn't have a bathroom for blacks. We could go to the concession stand, buy all the soda pop you want. But you know what's going to happen in soda pop? You need to go back. So you had to come out and try to go find you a place to do whatever you had to do. Jim Crow was something else. I wanted to tell a little something, and I'm kind of getting off my game here, but I remember back during the time when Emmett Till was lynched. I'm going to talk about that later. But back about the same time, me and a good friend of mine, Kenneth Brown, God rest his soul, we did something that was probably considered equally as being a no-no as what Emmett Till did uptown here at a Texaco service station. We walked in, and I don't think we knew anything like them for the time that we did this. And we commenced to try to get a drink of water out of this fountain. So the fellow told us, he said, he stopped. He said, no, he was. We didn't drink out that fountain. So we said, well, what are we supposed to drink? He said, you can drink out that video that was out there on the aisle. So we left the service station, walked across the street and asked the fellow at the car lot, hey, what's that guy's name? Up there on that. He told us. This was crazy. We went to the post office in the phone booth and we called that guy name. Now, if we had been in Mississippi, Alabama, or Georgia, that would have been the end of me. We told that man what he could do with the water. Now, see, that was a no-no back during the time. That was dangerous. That fellow followed us that evening when we got out of the show. And we were coming by the old Jim's grocery store here, walking back to the flats. He recognized us, and he did a U-turn on Main Street. And he said, hey, you boys, get in the back of this truck. We're going to go down here and see what George, whoever, got said up there. So me and Ken told him, how long still last to ride this train? So anyway, he followed us all the way through the flat. Me and Ken hid out down here under the hill on Bookie Washington County. Oh, wow. That man drove all the And we were so blessed that he decided to let that go. Think, if we had been down there where Emmett Till was, that would have been the end of the enterprise, as we used to call it. But anyway, I kind of broke where I wanted to go. But Jim Crow laws followed after Jim Crow laws followed the 1800 to 1866 Black Codes, which had previously restricted the civil rights and liberties of African Americans. Segregation of public state-sponsored schools was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court of the United States in 1954 in the Brown versus the Board of Education. Generally, the remaining Jim Crow laws were overruled by Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. But years of actions and court challenges were needed to unravel numerous means of institutional discrimination. So the slaves were not only, so slave laws were not only effective in controlling slaves, but they brought about a culture of folks who believed in and supported the institution of slavery. Both slaves and children of slave owners were born into this institution. And I'm having to read my own writing. I did this, but I have to read it. I don't want to miss nothing. Were born in this institution that lasted 246 years. And these people, never knowing any other way of life, was born into that. Both slave and children of slave owners. The culture still resists change, even after 150 years of slaves being freed and 153 years since the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. We still have resistance today. But now, one thing I want to say, before I go any further, I want to say, I want to make it clear, I'm not saying that all white folks supported slavery and the laws that made it possible, because that is not true. That wouldn't be true. Just take, for instance, the fellow by the name of John Brown. He's white, yeah. John Brown did something that was very dangerous back in about 1859. John Brown was a white American abolitionist who believed armed insurrection was the only way to overthrow the institution of slavery in the United States. In 1859, John Brown led an unsuccessful raid on the Federal Army at Harper's Ferry that ended with his capture. Brown's trial resulted in conviction and sentence to death by hanging. Now, see, he's a white guy. But he was doing something that slave laws forbid. That you wouldn't act like that. See? And if you're interested in these things, look them up, Google, take a look at what they talk about. And then, of course, we all know the story about President Lincoln. He did something that was very unpopular, and that's free the slave. The three Mississippi civil rights workers were murdered in 1964. One of them was a black guy, the other two were white. They were murdered in Mississippi. They were down working for the colony.